It's late at night. You're alone in your room, scrolling mindlessly when you stumble on a video. A face appears, human, almost. It smiles, but the smile is wrong. The eyes linger a moment too long. You feel it, that feeling, the crawling unease. Your heart races. Why does something so familiar feel so utterly wrong? This isn't new. Long before digital avatars, deepfakes, or humanoid robots, humanity has flinched at its own reflection when it looks just a little too real. This discomfort isn't just in your head. It's a documented psychological effect with a name that sounds like it belongs in a horror novel, the Uncanny Valley. But where did this fear begin? And why do we react with dread when the human form is mimicked just a little too closely? The roots of the Uncanny Valley reach far deeper than the age of AI. To understand its history, we have to journey back through haunted automata, disturbed scientists, and ancient folklore to explore the psychological shadow cast by our own image. In 1495, Leonardo da Vinci sketched the plans for a mechanical knight, an automaton powered by pulleys and gears, capable of sitting, standing, and moving its arms. It never smiled. It didn't need to. Even in sketches, it was eerily lifelike and centuries ahead of its time. This wasn't a toy. It was man's first mechanical imitation of himself. Fast forward to 1738. French inventor Jacques de Vaucanson unveiled the digesting duck, a marvel of its day. It flapped its wings, moved its beak, and appeared to eat and defecate realistically. Audiences were stunned, but behind the applause lingered a quiet discomfort. What they had just seen wasn't natural. It pretended to live. It was a lie, wrapped in feathers and gears. For many, the wonder quickly gave way to unease. This unease would grow over time. In 1770, Baron Wolfgang von Kempelen introduced the mechanical Turk, a chess-playing automaton that beat skilled opponents with seeming intelligence. What no one knew, at least not at first, was that a man was hidden inside, manipulating it. The deception worked too well. The mechanical Turk became a traveling sensation, but it also sparked whispers. What if the machine was thinking? What if one day it didn't need the man inside? In the 19th century, that whisper became a premonition. As the Industrial Revolution surged forward, humanity watched as machines began replacing hands, then voices, then decisions. It was no longer about mimicry, it was about autonomy. Mary Shelley captured that terror in 1818 with the publication of Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein didn't just build a human-like creature, he gave it life. And in return, the creature became his tormentor. The fear wasn't just that it looked human, it was that it wanted to be human and never could be. And then, in the early 20th century, a new kind of imitation emerged. Not mechanical, but cinematic. The year is 1920. German audiences sit in dark theaters as the cabinet of Dr. Caligari flickers across the screen. Cesare, the sleepwalker, moves with uncanny grace, his face pale, expression blank, almost lifeless. The silent film era was full of faces like these, exaggerated, stylized, human but not, and audiences were mesmerized and unsettled. Then, in 1970, a name was finally given to the feeling that had haunted us for centuries. Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori coined the term Bukimi no Tani Gensho, the Uncanny Valley phenomenon. Mori observed that as robots became more human-like, our emotional response increased until a certain point. Beyond that point, the response plummeted. Instead of affection, we felt revulsion. He plotted this on a graph. The dip was dramatic, a valley, one that felt cold and unsettling, a chasm between recognition and rejection. And it wasn't just theory. Maury had built robots. He saw people flinch, recoil, even gag at their too smooth skin, dead eyes, and emotionless movements. The closer they got to us, the more alien they seemed. But why? Why does something almost human disturb us more than something clearly artificial? Some psychologists point to cognitive dissonance. Our brains love patterns. When we see a human face, we expect life behind it. When that expectation is broken by a blank stare or unnatural twitch, we experience a kind of mental conflict that feels deeply wrong. Others suggest evolutionary biology, that the uncanny valley evolved as a defense mechanism, warning us of disease or death. Corpses, after all, are human, but still. So are mannequins, so are androids. The uncanny valley might not be about machines at all. It might be about death. There's another theory, more abstract, more psychological. Freud called it the unheimlich, or the uncanny. He described it as something familiar, but repressed, something that was once known, but has become alien. Dolls, masks, clowns, all these evoke a strange double feeling, comfort and dread. Freud believed the uncanny revealed hidden fears about ourselves, about identity, control, and the boundary between living and not. The idea gained traction in literature, in art, in horror films. Think of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, where friends are replaced by perfect but soulless copies. Or The Stepford Wives, where women are transformed into obedient replicas of themselves. The horror isn't in the difference, it's in the sameness. And then came the digital age. Early 2000s animation studios tried to create realistic human characters with computers. But something went wrong. Films like The Polar Express and Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within, left audiences uncomfortable. The characters moved like humans, but something in their eyes felt dead. Critics didn't know the term, but they knew the feeling. It was the uncanny valley, now rendered in pixels. And now, with AI-generated faces, deepfakes and lifelike avatars, we're entering a new era of uncertainty. We can no longer trust what we see. That smiling influencer might not exist. That voice might be synthetic. That memory might be manipulated. We have blurred the boundary between the human and the artificial, and the uncanny valley has widened. But here's the twist. Some say the uncanny valley is closing. People are getting used to it. Exposure breeds acceptance. We laugh at awkward androids on social media. We talk to AI companions. We befriend digital personas. The fear is dulling or mutating. Maybe one day the valley will disappear completely, or maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for us to cross a line we can't come back from. Because the uncanny valley isn't just about machines or faces. It's about us, our fears, our mirrors, our longing to create life, and our terror when we succeed. After all, what's more horrifying than looking into the eyes of something not quite human and seeing ourselves looking back? Thank you for being watched while your eyes were closed, and for daring to linger in the shadows with us. If you enjoyed the chill crawling down your spine, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. for more unsettling stories and explore the rest of our twisted library. Until next time, keep your eyes open, unless you're afraid of what's waiting behind closed eyes, where reality ends and fear begins.